right, buckle up because we're going deep today.
Yeah. Into the Kiwi Farms.
The Kiwi Farms thread.
Oh, yeah.
That is so wild.
It's choice.
It's truly choice.
Truly wild.
We're talking about
We are talking
the
YouTube chef.
Jack Scalfani.
Jack Scalfani.
You know the guy who makes Guy Fieri look like Alice Waters?
It's like he's trying to outdo Guy Fieri in the processed food.
Yeah. It's truly something to behold.
It really is.
What I think is fascinating about this thread is that
it goes beyond just a roast.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a deep dive into the psychology of a guy who seems to exist in a perpetual state of delusion.
he's just completely oblivious.
While somehow attracting millions of viewers.
Yeah, how does this guy genuinely believe
I don't know.
that he is a culinary genius
Millions of people watch him.
while simultaneously serving up dishes that could probably double as bioweapons?
Oh, yeah.
Salmonella chicken.
Seriously.
Seriously?
That's not a recipe.
That's not a recipe. It's a public health hazard.
That's a CDC warning right there.
It's amazing.
And yet,
there's something compelling.
Oddly compelling
About his
unwavering confidence.
unwavering confidence.
It's like he's built this entire
It's what?
culinary empire.
It's like he's built this culinary empire.
On a foundation of processed cheese.
On a foundation of processed cheese and questionable hygiene.
And just pure...
It's really something to behold.
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget the gallons.
Oh, yeah.
And the best sauces you'll ever taste.
You would think.
Which, ironically, even he seems to avoid.
That the guy who created a sauce empire
would at least use his own
The
product.
guy who created this sauce empire would at least use his own product.
Right.
It's like Picasso refusing to paint with anything but finger paints.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Bizarre.
You have all these colors.
Yeah.
Why are you using brown and yellow?
It's like, why are you doing this?
Exactly.
And then there's the Lazy Man's Cooking series,
Oh my God.
which is basically a masterclass in how to make the simplest dishes
Yes.
with the absolute minimum effort.
Like things that shouldn't even be that hard.
It's like watching a sloth
Yeah.
attempt a cooking show.
And he makes them look hard.
Right.
Like it's amazing.
But here's the thing. Amidst all the culinary carnage
yes.
and the questionable life choices,
It's a train wreck
there's this undeniable entertainment factor.
that you cannot look away from.
It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck
You can't.
that you just can't look away from.
It's hypnotic.
And the Kiwi Farms thread captures that morbid fascination.
Perfectly.
Stuff.
Perfectly.
Like they're on it.
They really are.
Watching, they are laser focused.
With like a microscope.
on every detail.
And they pick apart every single detail.
Oh, yeah.
From the bizarre cooking techniques to the questionable ingredients, all while injecting this like dark, sardonic humor
That's fun.
that makes it strangely addictive.
Oh, it is.
It's like a comedy roast.
Yes.
Where the roastee is completely oblivious to the fact that they're the main course.
He has no idea.
Speaking of obliviousness, we can't forget Jack's infamous appearance
Oh, the West Texas.
on West Texas Investors Club,
Investors Club.
where he basically had a meltdown when the investors,
Yeah,
when
but-
actually dared to critique his cooking.
Yeah, they gave him.
It's amazing. It's like he genuinely expected them to throw money at him just for showing up with a crock pot full of what looked like day-old chili.
I know.
The thread has a field day.
With that episode dissecting every awkward interaction and cringe-worthy moment.
Every single one.
And then there's the whole saga of his choice of churches.
2 of them.
Both of which were, shall we say, led by individuals with colorful pasts.
Yes.
It's like Jack has a talent for finding himself in the middle of controversy, even when it comes to religion.
It's like a magnet.
It really is.
He's drawn to it.
You almost have to admire his consistency when it comes to making questionable decisions.
He's just,
It's like he has this internal compass
that
always points him in the direction
towards the bizarre,
of the most bizarre,
controversial option possible.
Every time. Speaking of questionable decisions, we can't gloss over the Scalfani family dynamics.
Oh, no.
I mean, this is a whole other
that's a whole
layer of the Kiwi Farms onion.
Yeah.
The thread really dissects the relationships between Jack, his wife, Tammy, also known as Mommy Wife, and his sons, Garrett and Jack Jr.
Yes.
With a level of detail that would make Freud blush.
Like, where do they find this stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they are committed.
They're committed.
They are dedicated.
Researchers.
It's a fascinating case study in family dynamics, power imbalances,
Yes.
and the enabling of, let's just say, eccentric behavior.
Eccentric.
The thread really goes deep on Tammy's role in all of this, painting her as this sort of matriarchal figure.
Yeah, she's...
who simultaneously manages Jack's career finances and emotional outbursts.
She's the one behind it all.
Yeah.
Pulling the strings.
She's the puppet master.
Yes.
And let's not forget Jack Jr.,
oh, no.
the aspiring Christian rapper.
Right.
With a penchant for interesting photography choices.
Photographic choices, yes.
Let's just say the thread has a lot of fun with that one.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
The whole Scalfani family is like a gift.
They really are.
That keeps on giving.
It's like they're almost...
Or the Kiwi Farms community. Intentionally feeding like
an
endless...
stream of content. That's just simultaneously bizarre.
Yeah.
Entertaining.
It's like...
And at times, honestly, a little bit sad.
They've created their own reality show.
Yeah.
Sad, but also kind of hilarious in a dark, twisted kind of way.
It's like a car crash, you know?
It's like they're this real-life sitcom...
You don't want to look.
...that's somehow both tragic and comedic at the same time.
But you can't look away.
Yeah. And the Kiwi Farms thread is basically the DVD commentary track.
Yes.
Providing all the snarky observations and behind-the-scenes insights.
The peanut gallery.
Yeah, it's great. And speaking of behind-the-scenes insights, let's dive into Jack's health.
Oh, boy.
Or lack thereof.
Yes.
The thread chronicles his various ailments.
Like a medical journal.
With the meticulousness of a medical journal.
Yeah.
Documenting everything from his struggles with obesity and multiple strokes
everything.
to his destroyed feet and recurring kidney stones.
Your name. It's like a cautionary tale about the dangers
if you want to know.
Of a diet consisting primarily of processed cheese.
Effects of a bad diet.
And questionable meat.
Look no further.
But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The thread also highlights the irony of Jack's repeated attempts at various diets, like the keto diet and Profile by Sanford.
All of them.
Despite his unwavering commitment to promoting incredibly unhealthy eating habits to his millions of viewers.
Yes.
It's like he's simultaneously preaching the gospel of healthy living.
While mainlining?
While stuffing his face
Yeah.
with enough processed food to feed a small army.
Like, it's amazing.
It really is amazing.
The hypocrisy is just breathtaking. The cognitive dissonance is just off the charts.
Yeah, like, it's incredible. It's truly amazing.
So he's living proof.
He's built this entire brand around being a culinary expert yet.
That's real?
His own lifestyle and dietary choices completely contradict that image.
Completely.
That's wild.
Like, he doesn't even see it.
Right. And that disconnect between his actions and his message is a recurring theme throughout the thread.
Totally.
It's like they're holding up a mirror to his hypocrisy.
They're like, look at yourself, man.
Highlighting the gap between the persona he presents online and the reality of his life.
What are you doing?
It's fascinating.
It really is.
And it's not just limited to his diet.
No.
They also dissect his various YouTube channels.
Oh, yeah.
Which range from cooking and tech reviews to religious discussions.
It's like he's trying to be a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
But he's not good at any of them.
Speaking of his tech channel, Tech Time.
Oh, God.
It's almost painful to watch.
I can't.
The guy struggles with even the most basic technology.
Yeah.
Yet he presents himself as some sort of tech guru.
Just like...
Remember that time he tried to review an easy bake oven and nearly set his kitchen on fire?
Oh, my God. The classic Kiwi Farms moment.
That's a classic.
The whole compilation of his tech fails.
Yeah. Pure gold.
Complete with snarky commentary and witty observations.
It's beautiful.
Oh.
It's like watching a digital dumpster fire unfold in real time.
Like watching a slow-motion train wreck.
And let's not forget his attempts at shilling products, often falsely implying sponsorships.
Oh, yeah.
To maintain this image of success.
He's got it all figured out.
The thread really calls him out on that.
They're like, no, you're not fooling anyone.
Highlighting the desperation behind his attempts to monetize his, shall we say, unique brand of content.
This is so sad. It is sad.
It's like he's just grasping at straws.
But it's also kind of hilarious.
It is. It's very entertaining.
It's fascinating how they analyze his tactics almost like they're dissecting a marketing campaign gone wrong.
Like a post-mortem.
They point out the inconsistencies, the exaggerations, and the sheer absurdity of some of his claims.
Like, who are you trying to fool?
It's wild.
It really is.
But it goes beyond just calling out his hypocrisy and questionable business practices.
The thread delves into the deeper implications of his online presence,
It gets philosophical.
raising questions about the ethics of online mockery and the potential consequences of cyberbullying.
Like, are we the bad guys?
Right? Is it okay to laugh at this guy's expense,
Even though he's putting himself out there.
even though he's kind of asking for it?
Yeah,
It's a tough question.
it is.
This brings us to the heart of the Kiwi Farms phenomenon. They have this unique culture and vocabulary
Its own war.
that revolves around the concept of lolcows,
Yes.
individuals who exhibit bizarre or outlandish behavior
Yeah.
that makes them ripe for mockery.
They can't help themselves. They're drawn to it.
It's a complex dynamic
Yeah.
that taps into our innate fascination with the unusual and the absurd.
We all love a good train wreck.
But it also raises ethical questions
Yeah.
about whether it's okay to exploit someone's vulnerabilities for entertainment.
Especially when it comes to mental health or personal struggles.
Right, like where do you draw the line? And the thread itself grapples with those questions.
Mm-hmm.
Some users argue that Jack is a public figure who has put himself out there and therefore open to criticism,
Yeah, he's fair game.
even if it's harsh or mocking.
He knew what he was getting into.
Others acknowledge that the thread can be cruel
Yeah.
and that there's a fine line between humorous observation
Yeah.
and outright bullying.
Where do you draw the line?
It's a nuanced debate
It is.
with no easy answers.
Nope.
And the thread itself reflects that complexity.
Like a back and forth.
It's important to remember that Kiwi Farms is a very specific community with its own set of norms and values,
Yeah.
which can be quite different from the mainstream internet.
It's a different world.
They often engage in practices like doxing
It's revealing personal information.
and rating, overwhelming someone's online presence with negative attention,
Yeah.
which can have real-world consequences for their targets.
It's not just online anymore.
And that's what makes this deep dive so thought-provoking.
It is.
It's not just about Jack Scalfani and his quirks.
No.
It's about the power dynamics of online communities, the psychology of Schadenfreude,
Mm-hmm.
and the ethical dilemmas we face in a digital age where anonymity and virality can amplify both humor and cruelty.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like we've created this monster,
Yeah.
and now we don't know how to control it.
It's like the internet has become this giant coliseum where we're all both spectators
And gladiator.
or potential gladiators.
Yeah.
And in Jack's case, he seems to be facing off against a particularly relentless opponent.
In the form of the Kiwi Farms community,
Right.
they are not letting up.
And what makes it even more interesting is that he seems to be completely aware
Oh, yeah.
of this ongoing battle,
Yeah.
yet he chooses to engage in this weird dance
Yeah.
of acknowledging and ignoring their existence.
Like he can't decide
It's
how to
like-
fight back.
right. It's like he'll occasionally lash out or try to get content removed, but then he'll go right back to posting videos that are practically begging for Kiwi Farms' attention.
It's like he needs it.
It's like he's addicted to the negative
Actually,
attention,
if it's negative,
even as he claims to despise it.
it's like a drug.
It really is.
He can't get enough.
It's a classic case of can't live with him, can't live without him.
Exactly.
He needs the attention, even if it's negative, because it feeds into his need to be relevant, to be talked about,
To be the center of attention.
to be the center of the universe, even if that universe is a niche internet forum
Dedicated to mocking him.
dedicated to mocking him.
The irony.
And the Kiwi Farms community seems more than happy to oblige,
Oh, yeah, they're loving it.
providing him with an endless supply of both mockery and analysis.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
It's like they're simultaneously his biggest fans
And his worst enemies.
and his harshest critics.
Yeah,
It's a complex relationship
it really is.
that goes beyond simple hate watching.
It's more like
It's more like a morbid
a
fascination
car crash
with a train wreck
in slow motion.
that keeps happening in slow motion.
You can't look away.
So where does this leave us?
Yeah.
What can we learn from this saga of Jack Scalfani and his ongoing battle with the Kiwi Farms community?
I think it's a reminder that the internet is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It can be great. It can be terrible.
It can be a powerful tool for connection, creativity, and community building,
Mm-hmm.
but it can also be a breeding ground for cruelty, harassment, and exploitation.
And for those who choose to put themselves in the public eye,
Right.
whether it's through YouTube, social media, or any other online platform, it's important to be aware of the potential consequences.
The internet never forgets.
Right. And once you put yourself out there, you become subject to the scrutiny,
The judgment.
and yes, even the mockery of a global audience. And for someone like Jack, who seems to thrive on attention.
Even negative attention.
It creates this self-perpetuating cycle that can be difficult to break free from.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
So what's the takeaway for you, dear listener?
I think it's about being mindful of your own online presence.
Yeah.
We all leave a digital footprint.
You do.
And it's worth considering how that footprint might be perceived by others, both now and in the future.
Think before you post.
It's also a reminder to be kind, both online and offline.
Yes.
It's easy to get caught up in the snark and cynicism of the internet.
It really is.
But it's important to remember that there are real people on the other side of those screens.
They have feelings.
And even if someone like Jack Scalfani seems to be asking for it, it's worth considering whether piling on with more negativity
is it really necessary?
Is truly productive, or if it just contributes to a toxic online environment.
Sometimes it's better to just walk away.
Ultimately, it's about finding a balance between holding people accountable for their actions and recognizing that everyone deserves a certain level of empathy and respect.
Yeah.
Even those who might seem to be begging for our mockery.
Everyone deserves a little kindness.
Well said. And on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into the wild and wacky world of Jack Scalfani and his complex relationship with the Kiwi Farms community.
What a ride.
It's been a journey, to say the least.
It has.
And for those who are curious to explore this rabbit hole further, we encourage you to check out the Kiwi Farms thread for yourself.
Just be warned, it's a wild ride.
Just be warned, it's not for the faint of heart.
And if you're looking for a more curated experience, may I suggest checking out the newly launched Google Presents Kiwi Farms.
Oh, yeah.
They've taken all the best content from the forum and packaged it into a sleek, user-friendly interface.
It's amazing.
It's like the sanitized version of Kiwi Farms.
Yeah.
Perfect for those who want the laughs without the guilt.
It's truly impressive.
It is.
They've managed to capture the essence of the forum while making it accessible to a wider audience.
It's a feat of engineering.
So there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the depths of internet culture, complete with culinary chaos.
Family drama,
and the ongoing battle between a YouTube chef and a community that loves to hate him.
It's been real.
Until next time, happy internet surfing. Remember to stay curious, stay informed, and stay kind.